this Central game, I thought we had a pretty good chance because the guys showed confidence and poise that we never showed all season.
Well, this is what everybody's been saying. It was after the Central game, and yet you had to go through Snyder, and you had to go through Michigan City, and then Marion. I noticed especially after about 2 minutes left in that Marion game why you had a big smile going. I thought you were about ready then.
Yes, I thought.
Well, I think really after we beat Central in that overtime game by 1 point, I think we were pretty sure by that time.
Michigan City didn't scare you at all then, huh?
Well, I don't know, but I just sort of had the feeling that if we did it to Central, we could.
We certainly like to give it a whirl down there. It's been 8 years now. Of course, we feel like we've been fortunate to have come as far as we have. But I know the kids will do a good job, and we're in real fine shape physically. We have no ankle problems, no colds, and I knock on wood every time I say that, but we're in
This is the Nottingham Court, a hotel fairly near the downtown portion of Indianapolis. It's Friday night, the pep rally's over, and for at least the next 12 to 15 hours, the basketball team, Fort Wayne's basketball team, is on their own. There aren't any fans to cheer them on. They're in this hotel right now, probably trying to go to sleep, probably thinking about tomorrow's game. Earlier, we asked Southside coach Don Reichert what he had planned for the team this evening.
Well, the kids are nervous, so we usually take them for a walk after they get down here to stretch out a little bit. But this time it happens that they did some filming up Fort Wayne the other night. It's going to be on color down here on Friday night, and so we're going to walk over to the TV station, and the kids are going to take a tour of the station and see this program on color, and I think it'll help. We won't have quite the problem we've had in another year when we were down here.
Do you have any problems yourself with butterflies?
No, it doesn't bother me until Saturday morning, and then from Saturday on until thing's over, why, I don't eat anything, and time hangs heavy on my hip.
Well, Coach, what was your reaction to this afternoon's game?
Well, naturally, I was disappointed, not so much in the performance of the kids. I thought the kids did a real fine job and played their hearts out, and that's all you can ask of any group of kids. I was disappointed in the officiating, needless to say, and thought, frankly, that was probably the poorest officiated state final game I had ever seen in some 20 years. And I think it's just too bad that these officials can't be screened a little bit better than that, and to have somebody that apparently is more on the play and obviously would see some of the things that were missed today out there.
Well, it appeared to us that Lafayette, Marion Crawley's team, was playing with the sole purpose early in the game of getting rid of Willie through fouls. Was this seemed to be true?
Well, I thought this would probably be a part of his game plan, obviously enough, and they do a good job. Marion has a real fine ball club there, and the Lafayette Broncos, and I think they do an excellent job of using the exterior part of their anatomy around the boards, and they do a real fine job with it. Very obviously, sometimes I thought, and I thought this was a thing that was being missed, and one very obviously on Willie when they went underneath Willie, and Willie went up and came down. He came down on the kid because the kid moved underneath him, and it was on Willie, and there's not much you're going to do about it. They call it, and that's it. But I think, obviously, that they were working on Willie. The last one they called, the last two they called, I thought were awfully cheap fouls. The last one, as a matter of fact, I heard no whistle. And I don't believe there was one blowing because everybody was playing except one kid, and he walked with it, and the official under the basket didn't hear the whistle, and he called it traveling. But this is the way it goes, and there's not much you can do about it.
Do you think possibly that the way the last foul on Willie occurred demoralized the team more than possibly just the loss of Willie to the plane?
Well, I don't know that I could say that, Jody. It might be. I really don't know. But I think that the kids at that point felt like they were still in the ball game, and we had one without Willie in the Central game, and I still had hopes, and I think this group did fight back to within 4 points and had an opportunity there with maybe a minute and some seconds to go, but we weren't able to capitalize on it, and then had to foul and gamble a little bit, and of course we ended up getting beat, 8 or 9 or 10, whatever it was.
What about after the game? What do you say to the boys after a big one like this?
Well, as pretty hard to talk to a group of kids. Naturally, they're upset emotionally, and I would want them to be, I think, from the standpoint that they had the game sincerely at heart with the desire to win. But I did point out to them, and I think they know this, that we were just as proud of them in defeat as we would have been in victory. Also that these kids, I tried to point out to them that this might seem like the biggest thing in their life now, and probably it is to this point. I said that you're going to have to learn to take disappointments throughout all your life, and there will be some greater than this. I said Willie has, of course, had one already, and this was the loss of his father, of course, and but I said that you have to learn to live with these things, and I said that there'll be things in the future that will seem just as great. And I said some of you boys will play college ball, some night you'll be playing for the championship. And I said you'll forget about the hurt of today, but you.
Thank you, Hilliard. As mayor of Fort Wayne, I am extremely proud and happy to welcome home, and I ask all of you to join with me in welcoming home and giving a hero's reception to our own champions, the great Southside Archers. Yes, in my book, and in all the hearts of you folks, and in the hearts of the many thousands throughout Fort Wayne, they are the great champions. They played the game well. We are extremely proud of them. They displayed good sportsmanship. And of course, I could elaborate on what Hilliard started to say, but it would sound like sour grapes. But I know that all of you either saw it on the television screen or down there at the game, some officiating, and I hope whoever represents next year at Indianapolis gets some better officiating. I hope that certainly comes about. Closing, just let me say to Don Reichert, you certainly have done a beautiful job of coaching these boys throughout these years. We certainly wish you the best in whatever your future endeavor may be. Thank you very much.
At this time, I should like to introduce Lester Griles.
Thank you, Hilliard. Yesterday, I had the opportunity of watching the ball game between two fans, and I highly recommend them for the referees for next year. On my left was Mrs. Griles. On my right was the mayor of the city of Fort Wayne. We are very proud of the Southside basketball team. We're proud of the coaches. And let me add that we're proud of the sportsmanship and attitude of the student body. You all reflected great credit on Southside High School. While it is true that I have received a letter from Mr. Don Reichert, I want to add that I have not accepted it yet, and I'll always be glad to tear it up. Don? It's my pleasure to present to you, the courtesy of the Trulock Menswear, this trophy, your personal trophy.
Thank you very much. It's real kind of you people to come out here on a cold but beautiful afternoon to welcome us back. And for a minute when we arrived in Fort Wayne today, I thought we had won until I saw a striped guy on Rudisill with some arrows in him. I would like to introduce some people to you today who have been very important to me and any success that I've had down through the years. And I'll start first with probably the one person who is probably the most important to me at this time, and this is Mr. Joseph Reichert, my father. Where is he back here?
My bag.
Anne is a person who's endured this for some 20-some years, and I think she should be spared the grief of it any longer. And so, Mr. Greil, I assure you I will not retract any letter that I've given you. But this is my wife, Wanda.
The Businessmen's Association of Swinging Southgate Plaza. I'm privileged to be able to present this trophy to the real champions of the state of Indiana, the Southside Archer basketball team of 1967.
Mr. Schwartz, I'm delighted to accept this trophy in the name of a great school with a tremendous student body and a terrific basketball team. We have a cheer around Southside. Many of you have heard it. We're from Southside, couldn't be prouder. And I'm sure that echoes the sentiments of a great many people here this afternoon. And now, since this trophy is a little heavy, and since I want to make very sure Mr. Schwartz it gets back into our trophy case safely, I'm going to designate the one person, I think, who will stand out in this crowd to carry it back for me, and I hope he doesn't fail. I should like to present it at this time to Willie Long. Willie?
I don't know what to say, but I'm just disappointed we couldn't bring the state championship trophy home to Fort Wayne, but right now that trophy looks pretty good, too. And we set our hearts on last year on going down to Hinkle Fieldhouse, and we made it down there, but we met a fine Lafayette team. And if Willie had stayed in there, I think we could have beat them and gone on to win the state title. I'd also like to thank all the fans and followers of South this year. You've done a tremendous job cheering for us and giving us a lot of enthusiasm. This trophy, too. And next year's team, I hope they can come through and bring home the state championship trophy that we weren't able to.
You an apple brown Betty in a cruddy old saucepan. Does that sound like someone trying to escape or someone trying to trick her?